the fuck is up, my bitches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. In today's video, first thing, okay, my mic is good. I wanted to make sure my mic was flipped over correctly. But today's video is going to be all about the new Anastasia Beverly Hills, the new ice cold highlighter. So as soon, or iced out, I keep calling it iced cold. Iced out highlighter. So I initially saw this. I bought it as soon as it dropped, immediately, because I am such a big fan of the Amrezy highlighter. If you missed out on this one, still one of my favorite in my entire collection. But as soon as I saw, like, the packaging I saw was the same, I'm like, I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck. I love this formula. So today I'm going to be doing a demonstration for you guys and also comparisons to a bunch of different highlighters that you guys had requested on my Instagram and on my community page for at least what I had in my collection. I'm going to try not to get lipstick on my teeth today, but we all know how that goes. So if you guys enjoy this video, don't forget to give this a thumbs up before you guys leave. Subscribe to my channel for more and me of my, you know, random ass bullshit. You guys know what to expect by now. It's always a hot mess express, but let's first dive into the highlighter because I was so excited. So I can't even remember how much this retails for. I probably should have looked at that before. I think it's like $34 or $38, so definitely more on the more expensive side for a highlighter. But the fact that I didn't even, like, I'm like, yep, it's expensive. I don't care because of how much I love this formula. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen what the packaging looks like already, but in case you haven't, let me show you. So this has the exact same packaging as the original Amrezy, except for it just has, it's just blank. It's white, blank, it's got the sticker on the back. You guys know how I feel about stickers, but it's okay. At least it feels like it belongs there. And then inside this, I'm gonna try to show you what it looks like because it is hard to capture. You can see the beautiful embossing on this. It looks so stunning. This is one of those products I'm like, I don't even want to use it because of how beautiful it looks. So when you see it in the pan, it does appear to look white. Like, it's not playing you right now. But in person, you could see that it has a slight gold, like almost like a gold shift to it. So it almost feels to me like a duochrome type of highlighter. So this is what it looks like. It's beautiful. Cat coming through, $34, which I feel like that's about average for high-end type of highlighters. But the reason that I wanted to do like comparisons, because I feel like there's so many highlighters on the market and I have a big collection, and there's some that I initially saw this, I still bought it because I wanted to own it. But in the event that you already have something, you may not need this. So that's where I'm like, let's do comparisons and we'll see what everything looks like. But the first thing I want to mention is the types of brushes that I personally like to use when working with this formula, because it is a more dense type of formula. So I like to use more dense type of brushes. So my personal favorites are the Smashbox. This is the Precise Highlight. I think the embossing came off. Precise highlighter, yes. I got this at Macy's. And then I've also been really enjoying the Scott Barnes Travel highlighter brush because they are synthetic, so I feel like they pick up the product a lot easier than natural hair. And they have just a slight denseness to them that I feel like really works well with this more stiff type of formula. But when you apply it to your face, it's so beautiful. If you guys watched my video yesterday, it was my best of beauty for 2020. I was wearing this highlighter. So I'm gonna show you guys. I always have lipstick on my teeth. It's just a thing, guys. It is what it is. But thank you for coming through. So I'm gonna first show you guys what this looks like when I apply it. So what I like to do is I'm gonna use the Scott Barnes brush. I like to just go like this because I don't wanna mess with the embossing. And you can see it does pick up on the brush easily. And let's just go in because I was not sure if this highlight would work for me. But on my skin tone, I have a light to medium skin tone with neutral undertones. If you're wondering, where's the foundation I'm wearing today? I'm wearing the Gucci Natural Finish Fluid Foundation. I'm wearing this in the shade 220N Fair Medium. So if you're wondering, complexion-wise, what I am, that's what I'm wearing right now. It's so, so beautiful, and it does pull more gold. So I feel like this will be more appealing towards lighter skin tones. I feel like, though, it's hard for me to say because with fair skin tones, I could only assume because I'm not that skin tone. I really like how it looks this way, but when I turn forward, you see how you could see a slight cast because it does feel like almost like a duochrome type of finish. I do have this on the inner corners and also my brow bone as well. I don't personally think that it's as flattering for me as the Amrezy. I do prefer the Amrezy, but I still think this is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. Deidre just asked, does it shift green? I don't notice a green. I, if anything, just notice like a white to a gold, which I'm a big fan of. It's just, I feel like I'm gonna have to be mindful because I feel like when I apply just one layer, you can't really see that cast, but on this side, I feel like that cast does pull slightly. So I feel like, I mean, you don't need to layer a ton of this anyways, because you guys saw just right off of applying it, it's like the highlight is there. So I feel like it's gonna be like a, just apply it once and then you're done. I'll put some on the tip of my nose as well, just so you guys could see it in more places. I'm still really happy that I have it, and I do find that I like to now, I'll still go over my face again after I apply a highlighter with a setting spray just to kind of get it to melt into the skin a little bit. But you see how gold that appears versus how white it looks in the pan? That's where I'm like, okay, let's do some comparisons because I feel like this could be a little tricky, you know, because primarily this is available online. I've linked, oh my God, I linked Sephora, Ulta, Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Macy's. Like there's so many retailers that are carrying this now. So I think it's beautiful. I think it's just one highlighter that I'm gonna have to be slightly mindful of, like over applying it, if you will, just so I don't get that cast. I feel like you don't really notice it as much in person versus like how you see it on the camera. So my first impression of this, I think it's stunning. It's just, I have to be mindful of those things. So I see you guys are mentioning KALEIDOS. I'm going to be actually comparing it to two of their highlighters because these were like the first ones and I'm like, I wonder if these are going to be similar. So I have quite a few. I know that there's other comparisons on YouTube as well, but I have quite a selection of different highlighters that I'm going to be comparing it to. We'll just start with Anastasia Beverly Hills because I have the Amrezy highlighter, which I'm going to tell you right off the get-go, they're not similar at all. This one is definitely more of a gold, like a white with a gold shift, whereas Amrezy, I think it's more of a champagne gold. So this is a hand swatch of the new iced out. I keep wanting to call it ice cold. Let me zoom you guys in just so you can really focus on the swatches themselves. I do feel like the formula is the same though. If you liked the Amrezy, look at the embossing in this was everything. It's so pretty, but you're gonna see just how different they are. See how the Amrezy has more of a champagne? I feel like right here you could see the white. It's almost like a white silver, and then you see, boom, gold. That's where I say it's like a duochrome, in my humble opinion. So you got iced out Amrezy. Next one, I pulled out the NICOLE Guerriero Glow Kit. I wanted to compare it to Forever Lit. I basically pulled out all of the highlighters in my collection that are on the white scale because it looks white in the pan. So here's Forever Lit. This was one that was requested by you guys, and I'm like, they're not at all the same. If there's any other ones that you guys want to see, let me know. NARS Albatross, I saw somebody request that. I don't own that one, but I feel like it could very much be on the same scale as that because I have seen that before. It's just I've never personally used it. So Anastasia Beverly Hills, we're over here just like, nope, this stands out compared to the ones that I have. I saw somebody else asking for, I think it was marshmallow, but I don't own any of the glow kits. I didn't like the formula of those. I had them and I decluttered all of them because I just wasn't a fan of the formula. Formula-wise, think Amrezy. That's just me in my opinion. Next one I thought of initially was the JOUER. This is the powder highlighter in the shade Ice because this one, it's broken. It appears white in the pan, but it has that similar gold shift to it. I think it's a stronger shift though with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills opposed to the JOUER. So I think JOUER is going to appear more white, but it has a similar effect to where it looks white right there, And then when you turn it, that's where you see the gold. But I feel like the Amrezy definitely has more of that really punchy gold look to it. Like, you could really see it right here. As far as texture goes, I do feel like it slightly accentuates texture. That's one thing that I am always mindful of, because I do have very textured skin, especially in this area. So if you look at my cheeks, I'm like, you can totally see that I have texture, but it's not the worst in my collection. I feel like every highlighter is going to accentuate my texture, but there's the JOUER. I don't think that they're nearly as close as I was expecting them to be. The next one I pulled out was from Fenty. This is the Diamond Bomb in the shade How Many Carats. I'm going to tell you right off the get-go, this is not similar at all. I feel like this highlighter on its own is so different. I always refer to this as, if you want like Edward Cullen skin, you see how just sparkly, oh, I feel like it's capturing it really well right there. You see how just sparkly and glittery it is? It's so different than the Amrezy. So that one, I'm just like, I didn't even need to swatch that one. I knew it was totally different. Let me bring out, I'll start putting some on this side, and then I'll wipe those off, and I'll go with some different ones. So let's go to BECCA. Some people asked for Opal and Moonstone. This one, it's so different. It's not at all the same. This is definitely more of like a champagne. It's way darker. So you've got Opal, and then you've got Amrezy, or not Amrezy, you've got Iced Out. Very different. But I love the formula. I also pulled out, I was surprised nobody asked for this one, BECCA Pearl. It's not the same though. This one is just like a true white highlighter. Another one people asked about was, it was BECCA, or not BECCA, OFRA Glazed Donut. I don't own that one, but you see how just, this looks like a true white. This definitely looks more gold. So, BECCA, for me and what I own, I don't have anything. I'm going to save KALEIDOS for last, because I feel like that's where I'm going to be like, these could possibly be similar. I also pulled out NATASHA DENONA I Need a Nude Glow, because I feel like a lot of people got this one. If you got this one and you're concerned that they're the same, it's not at all the same. This one is definitely more of like a peachy gold. Oh my god, this is so funny. Just when you look at them in pans, they look so similar. But not at all the same. So if you have this one and you're concerned that it's the same, I assure you it's not the same at all. What else did I pull out? BECCA Opal we already did. I pulled out COLOURPOP FLEXITARIAN, because I feel like a lot of people have this one as well. Not at all the same. If anything, I think this one resembles like, I was gonna say it's like the closest to How Many Carats, but it's really not at all the same either. It's more like, the COLOURPOP reminds me a lot of the Be Perfect highlighters. They have that like gelée type of finish, so no, not at all the same. Nobody asked for this one, but I'm like, it looks light in the pan, so let me throw this one in here. And then I pulled out the KYLIE Santorini, but I feel like that's gonna be another one where it's like, no, it's not even fucking close. I'm sorry if you guys could hear my my washing machine. It's like, it sounds like it's about to fly off the freaking cycle. That's KYLIE Cosmetics Santorini. You see how just different these are? If anything, what I'm seeing, it's closest to Amrezy, but it's still different. Charlie saying, I wonder how it compares to the lightest Burberry. I don't own that one, so I don't know, but I'm sure there will be more comparison videos coming out. So if you have, like, if you come across any videos, feel free to leave them in the comments section if you find other people that compare them to different shades. So I'm gonna wipe all these off except for the Amrezy, and then keep comparing them to more that you guys had requested. But like, what do you guys think of the highlighter so far? I just saw somebody said, Natty says Trophy Wife. I feel like Trophy Wife is so yellow. Like, this I think is not nearly as yellow as Trophy Wife. So let's move on. I pulled out some from DIOR, because I feel like DIOR has, between NABLA and DIOR, I feel like they have the closest formula to the Anastasia. So I have the shade number 1. I pulled out this one, but I don't think it's going to be anything similar. But as far as texture and stuff like that goes, it could be something similar. But that one, This one leans more like a peachy champagne where you still have the gold. And then I also pulled out the Backstage palette just for the white comparison. It's not gonna be at all the same. I hope this is helpful for you guys, because I could easily be like, no, they're not the same, but I want you guys to actually see it, you know, with your own eyes. So that is, what shade is that? Strobe from the Backstage with Dior. So the Dior ones that I have, I also have the shade number 3, but that's way different, so I don't even feel the need to swatch that one. It's still, this is still standing on its own so far. I feel like those ones are going to be the true test. I also pulled out NABLA Privilege. I don't think shade-wise this is similar. It goes back to, I think the formulas are pretty similar with NABLA and Amrezy. They're both very, very flattering, I think. Like, even though it still accentuates texture, it's still one of the more flattering, I feel. And then I also pulled out, this is the OFRA Cosmetics x Samantha March. I wanted to pull out this formula because so many people were saying glazed donut, and this is really the only one that I think is relatively comparable that I actually own, but it's still not at all the same. I can't remember the exact shade because there's 2 existing shades in this, so I just pulled from the more yellow tone one because the pink is not going to be anything similar. So still standing on its own. Let me wipe these off because now I feel like we're getting into, okay, we could be getting close. So I have KRISTEN, LEIGH, Give Me Glow, and KALEIDOS, or KALEIDOS. I don't know how to pronounce it. One of these days I'll actually figure it out. Where did my Amrezy highlighter go? Because I have to re-swatch that just so you guys could see. What about the Milk Flex highlighter? I don't own that one, so that one I'm not sure. I do think that this is slightly, maybe slightly more chalky than the Amrezy, but I remember the Amrezy feeling like that when I initially got it as well. So I think the more that I use it and get into the product, I think that will go away. So here's I keep wanting to call it Amrezy. Here's Iced Out, and then I have the KRISTEN LEIGH Cosmetics Birthday Bash. This one I'm like, I feel like this could resemble, because it looks white in the pan, but I feel like this one is gonna have that green reflect to it. So let's see how this one looks. Yeah, I definitely see a green tinge. It's more vibrant as well. You see how, like, it has a similar effect, but this one's a lot more poppy and a lot more glittery. So I feel like close, but this one here accentuates my texture horribly. So this one, I would say I would prefer the Anastasia over the KRISTEN LEIGH Cosmetics. The next pan I have is from Give Me Glow. This is the 9-pan highlighter palette. I wanted to swatch it to Halo because I feel like this one, same type of vibe. It's got the white, like white look in the pan, but it has that yellow reflect. This though is going to be so so blinding. Give Me Glow formula is just insane, but I feel like this is probably one of the closest. It's just a little bit brighter, I think. So similar. This one's a lot more crumbly as well. I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I think these look really pretty on the face, but I have to be very, very mindful. When I'm looking at these on my hand, I do notice that the Anastasia Beverly Hills has like a slight sparkle effect opposed to the Give Me Glow. So I think the Give Me Glow is gonna have more like shine. It's gonna look really intense, whereas I feel like the Anastasia will be just a little bit more wearable, I think. Wearable. You could use a blinding ass highlighter all day, every day if you want to, but that's just something that I thought of. I think White Noise, you could look at this and be like, oh yeah, it's similar. It's not at all. It's got that white base with no shift. Halo, I think, is the most comparable. Look at the size of this. It's so fucking huge. Okay. Now these two, these are what I feel are going to be the closest. These are from KALEIDOS. We have the Space Age Prophecy and Solar Sailor. These were both sent to me. I'm gonna start with Prophecy, because this is very, very close in my opinion, but I also feel that this is way more intense and it has that green shift to it. Yeah, like when I see this right now, like this is a true multi-chrome. I probably should have done it this way. Let me do it that way too, just so you guys could see, because I feel like the reflect isn't capturing quite the same. Yeah, like it looks so green in person and it's a lot more sparkly. Let me pull it back just so you guys could hopefully see. So you've got Anastasia up here like these, they're like all pretty much like passable as far as looking the same, but you're gonna get way more of an effect with the Space Age Prophecy, and you're also gonna have that green tinge to it as well. Whereas I feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills, I almost called it Amrezy. I feel like with the Anastasia, you're not gonna have that green at all. But this is the one, I haven't compared these next to each other, but I feel like this is the closest. It's Solar Sailor, because this one, it looks white, but it has that yellow reflect, and that's pretty much all that it has is the yellow reflect. I'm gonna pair these side by side by themselves, just so you can see. So you've got it right here, and then you've got Anastasia here. Looking at them like that, I think they're gonna be pretty damn close. But let me do, no, I haven't. Have you swatched all of your Kaleidos highlights on camera yet? No, I have not. I'm planning my video on that still. It will come. It will come. So let's do Solar Sailor. I keep misplacing. Like, where's the product that we're doing in this video? All right, let me get one more swatch of this. I'm just like rubbing my finger all over the top so I don't disturb anything. Let's look at these just on the finger alone. Let's see how similar these are. Very, very similar. If anything, I think the Kaleidos has slightly more like metallic to it. So let's do Anastasia. See how just smooth it looks? It looks so nice. And then you've got Kaleidos. I think Kaleidos has a stronger yellow tone to it, but I feel like these are very, very similar. Like, I don't feel like you would need both, but comparing these two together, Kaleidos is more of like a true yellow, whereas I feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills, it's going to be more of a true gold, if that makes sense. So I still feel like this is different enough where I'm happy that I own it. But if you're not trying to build your collection or anything like that, if this is a highlighter that speaks to you, I think it's still really, really beautiful. Do you guys have any other comparisons that you guys would want to see? But I feel like for what I already own and what I have in my collection, those were the closest ones that I have. Do I have the Pat Trio highlighter? I do not have that. The only Pat McGrath highlighter I have is the new holiday one, which is my least favorite highlighter I've probably ever owned in my life. Kaleidos is so much brighter. I completely agree. I think the Kaleidos does have more like sparkle to it as well. So I feel like I can't wait to try all of these because the glitter in these makes me nervous for my texture, but I used Mars Melter. I think that's the only one that I've used. I used Space Age Prophecy as well. I felt like this one accentuated the texture a little bit more. But overall, I'm at the point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll rock any highlighter, even if it accentuates texture. But it is one thing I like to be mindful of. And I like to really harp on it in my videos, just because I feel like it is, for some people, it's like a non-negotiable type of thing. So as far as that goes with the Anastasia, I'm like, I feel like if you're over your 6 feet distance, like, people won't notice. I feel like it has a really beautiful shine to it. I think it looks stunning. It's just, I have something, what's going on up there? Has that been on my face this whole time, guys? Did nobody tell me? Where's my brush? It's probably my lipstick. Let me see if you guys have any other comparisons that you guys would want to see, but I feel like I got them all. I think I'm good on this one. It's not limited, so maybe wait for a sale if I actually want it that bad. I definitely agree with that. I don't foresee this one being limited as well. If anything, I hope they do like a pink one. I would love a pink one. And did you guys see the new NATASHA DENONA mini love collection? Buying that immediately. Like, I think it's available tonight at midnight, and I'm definitely buying it. So future video coming soon on that collection. How do ABH and Kaleidos formulas compare? I think they feel similar. I think if anything, the Kaleidos is a little bit softer because Anastasia Beverly Hills, I feel like it has a more stiff formula, which these I feel like are quite a bit softer. They're both really nice though. I like them both. Now after seeing it, I'm wondering how many it would compare to the Wayne Goss. Oh yeah, I don't have that one. I would be very curious about that one as well. I tried telling you. Okay. Lacey, thank you for trying to tell me. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for a BRIT Clark highlight. Oh my gosh. there's so many highlighters. It's like, what else can you do at this point? You know what I mean? Oh, Michelle is here. Kelly's here. What's up, my girls? Other than that, guys, though, I think that's going to be everything. Do I recommend this? I mean, I think it's beautiful. If it speaks to you, sure, why not? I think it's a fair price. Great packaging. I didn't mention the box. Like, the box is super cute. I'm that bitch that keeps everything in their boxes, at least for right now, until I get like a new type of storage, because I don't want to like scratch all my packaging. Everybody makes fun of me for it, but I'm like, I'm paying a lot of money for this shit. I want to save it. So I think it's a really nice highlighter. Did I compare Iced Out to Lunar Beauty Mercury? I don't have that one because I swear Manny just doesn't want me to own it. Every single time I've tried buying it, it's always out of stock. So I don't even know if he's going to keep doing the Moon Prism powders, which I hope he does because they're phenomenal. I want an icy pink, that ABH formula, but not chalky. Yeah, I don't feel like when I say this is, it kind of has like a chalkiness to it. I think it's just because of how probably hard it's pressed, because I remember the Amrezy feeling very similar. Like, it felt very tough at first, but since I've kind of broken the barrier, like, this is one of the most beautiful formulas. I love this. This is probably like top 3 in my collection for my highlighters. Every time I get a new addition to my collection, I think I should be like Brit and keep the box. Oh my god, I love it. I mean, why not? It like stresses me out seeing everything like stacked on top of each other right now. So if you're wondering what's on my face, I do have some things linked down below, but I will update those so you have the full face of everything that I'm wearing. But other than that, guys, I will be back tomorrow for another Yes or Yawn. We're going to talk about new makeup releases, and if you guys want me to chat about anything specific, feel free, tag me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, like this video, damn it, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Yes or Yawn. Bye!